Kaylee Cuoco and Sam Claflin star in the MGM Plus original series, Vanished. When the man Alice loves disappears on a train to the south of France, every romantic memory becomes evidence. Every intimate detail, a potential threat. She thought she knew everything about him, but she may not even know his real name. New episode Sunday on MGM Plus. Finding the truth is a dangerous affair.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi!
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
And I want to go now actually to Tucson. She has been our great eyes and ears on the ground about this case. Of course, the case of Nancy Guthrie. I can't believe it is now day 12. I mean, that is stunning. Who would have ever thought that day 12 we would be in this position? But hopefully maybe they're closer and closer. Who better to give us the very latest than the spokesperson with the National Police Association, also retired Chicago area police officer. She was also a hostage negotiator, and she's from Tucson, Sergeant Betsy Brantner Smith. Betsy, it's so great to talk to you. There's a lot of stuff that came out just in the last hour or so, the description and a whole bunch of stuff. Can you bring us up to speed?
Yeah, we really have so much going on. So, gosh, where do I start? I just want to start by saying that the Pima County Sheriff's Department troops on the ground are a bunch of really good cops. Unfortunately, our sheriff, Rita, not so much. So right now what's happening here is the friction between the Sheriff's Department and the FBI are literally impeding this investigation. You know, we've got now supposedly DNA material, including a glove inside the house. There was this other glove found out under a bush. And the sheriff, instead of handing this over to the FBI, he sent it to a private lab in Florida. Now, I have to wonder if the Guthrie family even knows that this is what's going on, because sending it to a private lab for a high-profile case like this is going to impede the timeline. And, yes, we're on day 12, right, tomorrow, but we still have hope. You know, you just said it, that we're still hopeful. The Elizabeth Smart case is a really terrific thing to think about. Nobody ever thought we'd see her alive again. But we do have a description, potentially, of a bad guy, including height, weight, the shoes, the backpack, things like that. And this is busting out all over the place, but the sheriff seems to be impeding, if not the investigation, the communication with federal authorities who could really help speed this up.
Now, the whole issue with the sheriff, why is he doing that? Is it territorial, like what he wants to be the guy who breaks the case and doesn't care if he goes to a lower level than an FBI? I mean, is that what it's about, his ego?
No, this is really more political. This sheriff, when he got elected, he immediately reached out to two entities, the National Sheriff's Association and the Border Sheriff's Association, told both of them he would not be working with them at all. He's very much a far-left Democrat, open border sheriff. But his issue with the FBI goes back to 2016 when he was I think he was the undersheriff, one of the chiefs, and he himself was investigated by the FBI for a RICO violation, corruption, things like that. He was never charged. One of the people that was investigated, one of his cohorts, ended up committing suicide. Another changed his name and actually came back to the police department. The sheriff's on video from 2016 mocking the FBI, talking about who's real law enforcement and who's not. And this is all just now. We've all known about this, Rita, those of us who live here, those of us who watched the investigation happen. But now the rest of the world is being refreshed on the last 10 years of this sheriff. He's just a very political, and he's a very vindictive kind of guy. That's why his homicide investigator, who's a terrific person, but has less than 2 years experience in homicide because literally hundreds of deputies have fled this organization.
Wow, that is really troubling and such an important high-profile case. I mean, any case is important, whether it's high-profile or not. That is just heartbreaking. Betsy, I want to get into also some of the details you brought up. They found a glove in the house. And I have a couple of questions. What do you know about what else was found in the house? Have you heard anything if there was blood or signs of struggle in the house? And what do we know about this glove that apparently was found in the house? Because you would assume, she probably has a whole bunch of gloves, but they found a glove and they're sending it for evidence. So does that say to you as a very seasoned investigator that they believe there's some connection to the case? Because you don't just send a glove.
No, you absolutely don't. And that part of the problem here, Rita, is we are not getting the amount of communication that you would normally get in a situation like this. So we know we're told DNA. And again, these are from sources, quote unquote sources. One of the things that is happening here on the ground is that law enforcement personnel are talking to the media. And because the sheriff is not talking to the media, he talks to very limited. He talks to local media. He won't talk to national media. And so all of this is coming out basically from law enforcement sources who are unable to reveal themselves. But the law enforcement officers here involved, both from the FBI and the Pima County Sheriff's Department, are really, really open with the media as long as they are promised anonymity.
And have you heard anything in the that there was any blood in the house or cameras in the house, or if we're getting any more camera footage at any point?
We have gotten no confirmation on camera footage from inside the house, or even that she had cameras in the house. And even we have been asking, did she have an alarm system? We can't get confirmation on that. We're told that there is going to be more video to come. And I just spoke to tonight a technology expert who is also a prior law enforcement officer who just literally landed at 6:00 tonight. And I was able to talk to him over at the Sheriff's Department. And he is bringing in some extraordinary technology that I'm still trying to wrap my brain around, but it goes far beyond cell phone pinging and things like that, including Nancy's pacemaker might still be giving off a signal that is trackable. Technology in this case, as we have been saying, is going to continue to be so important, as are the cameras, not just at the home, but the cameras around the county. We also had, as we talked about before, a couple of new videos of different people who look like our bad guy. Those have kind of been ruled out, but more Ring camera video continues to pour in from local tipsters. The citizens of Tucson are invested in this, and they're really coming out strong to try and help their law enforcement.
Which is beautiful. That's really, really great. The other thing, too, as you talked about, they released an sort of identification or description, I should say, of the individual based on the video. And they were able to match it, with the size of the tiles, the size of the shoes. I understand, correct me if this is wrong, but male, right? Obviously, believe it's a male, 5'9", 5'10", and average build, right? And then they ID'd the backpack. That could be a real biggie, the brand of the backpack.
Right. Ozark Trail, it comes from Walmart. So one of the things that is happening is they are going to basically start at her home address, and they're going to work their way out to all the Walmarts in the Tucson area, and then they'll keep working their way out. Because think about this, when you go to Walmart and you purchase something, there's cameras everywhere, and a camera records every single purchase you make at Walmart. So, this is going to be some tedious stuff, but this is what cops do, is they're going to have to comb through footage from every single Walmart and see if they see somebody of the description you just gave purchasing that exact backpack. And when you think about it, I go camping a lot, so I actually shop in that part of Walmart. You know, each Walmart has 4 or 5 of these backpacks. Not like there's hundreds of them out. So I think that as we utilize, and they'll utilize AI to go through that, that may be another break too. The shoes may be another break too, as they identify what those shoes are. This is why, for everybody who saw earlier today, we had that white tent that was around the front of the house, the front entrance of Nancy Guthrie's house. That's where they were doing these measurements, and they literally use lasers and things. They measure the bricks and all of that, and that's how you get this fairly accurate description of this guy's height and weight.
Yeah, it's amazing, the technology. And boy, if they can even track, like you just said, the pacemaker also, that would be, boy, would that be a home run. Well, let's pray there's going to be some information soon. Betsy Brantner Smith, you've been doing such a great job out there. And thank you for the updates, Betsy, especially with your great, great investigative background. And let's pray that there is good news soon. Keep us posted.
I absolutely will. I can't wait to talk to you soon.
Thank you, Betsy. We love you. Thank you very, very much. The great Betsy Brantner Smith